All sports talk shows are the same, right?
I am bothered by everything.
You gotta go back to football school.
The goal of this guy, it's just immeasurable.
Wrong. In a world filled with talking heads more interested in their own celebrity than actually knowing the sports world, it's hard to find the people who really care about sports first. Look no further. Wire to Wire has it all covered. These guys have the knowledge and the cred to back up their opinions. No hot takes to get attention, just straight up opinions. Know anyone else who correctly called the 2020 World Series and March Madness? How about 70% on the NFL and NCAA football last year? You don't. Bottom line, these guys know their shit. They aren't doing it for attention, they're doing it for passion. Wire to Wire, live every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, only on Toxic Radio and wherever you find podcasts. Got an idea for a podcast and think you have the talent to make it a reality? Already have a podcast but been thinking you could take it up a notch, but you're just not sure how to do it? Well, Toxic Entertainment has everything you need to go from podcasting to podcasting. Bring us your talent, your passion, and your best ideas. We'll bring to the table our state-of-the-art technology and comfortable facility, creative and professional staff dedicated to bringing your ideas to life, competitively priced packages to suit your goals and budget, and over 10 years of experience as a leader in the podcasting field. Toxic Entertainment offers quality and affordability that can't be beat. When you're ready to start your journey, Toxic Entertainment is here to help you reach your destination. Learn more at toxicentertainment.net or call 888-66-TOXIC to arrange a studio tour. That's 888-66-86942. Toxic Entertainment, where creativity meets passion.
I think they cannot go for it here.
Emmitt Smith's the deep back. Emmitt Smith gets the carry. He doesn't make it.
No, that's a bad call. You can't do that. Look at the Eagles. They know that call could have won the Eagles this game.
They're field goal range right now.
Right now, and then all they have to do is run that clock down.
Now they're saying maybe the 2-minute warning ran out.
No, I don't think so. That ball was snapped before, and you can't stop the play in the middle of the play for the 2-minute warning. No, that's the Eagles' ball.
The Cowboys' offensive unit's still on the field.
Well, maybe they're saying that the 2 minutes.
The ball was snapped.
Watch the official on the far side of the field. He is signaling no play.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They did say the 2 minutes came up before the ball was snapped.
It's fourth, and it's still a foot. Emmitt Smith is still deep with Darrell Johnston in front of him. Same play. Didn't get it again.
Didn't get it again. That's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. What in the heck is going on? The score's tied. You're on the road.
Up, everyone. The Godfrey and Mean Gene giving you a taste of some Eagles nostalgia / Madden nostalgia. We'll get into that. We're going to talk about the Eagles today. I know that was a little anticlimactic because we played the clip there for you, but we wanted to share with you and bring you down memory lane. I got Mean Gene right next to me.
Mean! Woo! Gene.
And I'm the Godfrey, THEEGODFREY. You see our handles down there if you want to get at us on social media. That's how you can find us. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the legend Madden, how he relates to the Eagles. We're going to talk about Eagles last week and upcoming, what's on the line, grades, sports quotes, what you've come to love. We're going to do, correct me if I'm getting this wrong here, Gene, Hurts or Hurt, right?
That's it, Hurts or. So we have a section where we're going to do Jalen Hurts or for your starting quarterback.
Yep. Tons of stuff to talk about, and we're going to dive in right now. So that, as you know, Madden passed, unfortunately. But
by the way, I still, to this day, watch that play, and I think it's absolutely disgusting that they stopped the first time.
Yeah.
And if you watch later on in that game, the Eagles kicked the go-ahead field goal, and they stopped that. and made him kick it again a second time.
I forgot about that. Yep.
The Eagles almost got screwed in that game so many times by the Zebras. The refs were always on the Cowboys. That's how that trend started in the 90s. They were America's team. They got every call. They got everything.
And you reminded me of the Merrill Reese call. And then when you reminded me of that, I remember like some older guys back in the day, I was about 15, would say, they would mimic the Merrill Reese call. I'm like, they fucked us again. When it came to them doing the 2-minute warning and then, the kick and all that. We
stuffed them twice on 4th down and had to kick 2 game-winning field goals in the cold at the vet.
Yeah. And, when you see that play, he was only here for a little bit, but Romanowski was a bad man. And he hit Emmett on that, flew through that line. And Romanowski is also one of the dirtiest players of all time, which I kind of secretly love. If you ever see him do an interview, he's a dirty, dirty player. But Eagles fans love guys like that anyway. And Zordich and all those guys, I remember that. William Fuller was on that team.
Eric Allen, Willie T.
Eric Allen was still on that team. Yeah. Eric Allen should be in the Hall of Fame. That's a whole nother discussion. I don't know if you agree or not, but he's a Hall of Famer as far as cornerbacks go. I'm not saying that because he's an Eagle. I'm comparing him to other all-time cornerbacks. If you look at the stats and look at his career, and he was returning TDs when that wasn't as prevalent outside of Deion Sanders at the cornerback position. Just going to say that. We won't go on that tangent. But, yeah, Madden passed, and that was a legendary Madden call. Also a legendary Merrill Reese call. Gene pointed out to me.
They stuffed him again! Yeah. They stuffed him again!
Yeah. But, Madden's more of a, TV analyst character. And
Madden had just passed away this week, so we want to wish our condolences to John Madden's family for everything that they've done for the sports world. Talking about a guy that played football, coached football, announced on football, and then is part of the electronic arts of football with the metaverse and Madden 21.
And
still being played.
Was drafted by the Eagles in the 21st round. That's right. They had that many drafts in rounds in the draft back then. And I believe 1958, I believe the offensive lineman had a knee injury and never got to play down to football, and then went to coach at, I believe, San Diego State, if I'm not mistaken.
I could have played football back then. I got drafted in the 78th round.
Yeah, I think Dick Butkus was like a 16th round pick or some crazy shit like that. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I think football fans are nuts enough today where they would watch all fucking 20 rounds if they still did a 20-round draft.
My God.
It'd be like a 2-week draft. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, shoot, the Eagles picked a guy out of Prairie View University.
Oh my God, man.
I've been watching this guy for 3 years. He's a stud.
Yeah. He was coached by Nick Sirianni's third cousin at St. Mary's. Speaking of Sirianni, good job, right? So far this season, I was saying this, and I didn't tell you as you're for the show. You might disagree with me, but I put a post out there. I think I was going with Shally back and forth on it. I would take Sirianni over Staley at this point.
I don't disagree with you. I think Sirianni's coached a better season than Staley has.
Has there been?
Staley walked into a way better situation.
He did.
Way better.
And he's
tougher division, but better situation.
To me, how do you lose that game against the Chiefs and then come out and lose that game against the Texans, who had nothing to play for? Texans don't.
7 guys on the COVID list. I think that people
they did.
I think that people, what they do is they forget these teams are NFL football teams.
That's true. You're 100% right about that.
And they're pro football teams for a reason.
Right.
And when they're missing Austin Eckler and Mike Williams, 2 offensive linemen, 3 guys on their starting defense. They're missing a lot of guys in that game. Brandon Staley hasn't done himself any favors, but they still, with Justin Herbert, you think they would have still won that football game.
Plus, that also makes, I believe, the loss the week before even more glaring because, now you're fighting for the playoffs. Even if you lose that game and you won that game, you should absolutely win against the Chiefs.
I mean, now the Miami Dolphins are a playoff team right now, and the Chargers are on the outside looking in. It's the first time it's ever been done in NFL history. A team go 0-7 and win 7 straight.
It's amazing.
It's never happened before.
I think Brian Flores is an underrated coach, honestly.
100%. I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches, let's get into our grades for this past week versus the Giants.
Okay.
I have a surprising grade that you're probably never going to see coming, but that's okay.
I have a surprising one that you won't expect from me because you expect the unexpected. But
okay, so what do you want to start?
Start with Gannon.
I gave Gannon a B+.
Really? I gave him an A.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, I gave him an A. Why did you go B plus? What was there had to be some disappointment there?
They turned the ball over this game, which was good. They sacked the quarterback this game, which was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough for me to give him an A. He deserves an A for this game, but it's tough for me to give him an A until he does it versus any team that's any bit like a quarterback that's any good. The Eagles have more wins versus bad teams this year than any team I've seen ever.
That's a good point.
Like, they've played nobody. Like, look, let's go through it real quick. Like just their wins. They have 2 wins. They have a win versus Washington, a win versus the Giants, a win versus the Jets, a win versus the Broncos, the Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, who are like a whipping boy for everyone at this point. And then they beat
Broncos.
I said Broncos.
You said Broncos.
They beat somebody in the NFC West. No, what division NFC did they play? The South. They beat the Cardinals. Saints. So they beat Taysom Hill, Sam Darnold, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater, lost to Daniel Jones, and then beat his backup quarterback, Garrett Gilbert. For this is
Matt Ryan's the only legit quarterback out of that bunch.
That's why I should probably give him an A, but until I see him do it versus a team that can throw the ball around the yard, I can't give him an A.
Yeah, because if you look at like Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, and quarterbacks like that, they had a high completion percentage against them. Now, I mean, I think they have improved as a defense since those games we're talking about where they got torched, right?
I hope so, but like, what is to show you they've improved?
Fair.
They're beating Garrett Gilbert.
And that's why I had a problem with them last week, because I just feel like
this week they beat Jacob Fromm. Shouldn't be in the NFL.
Yeah. Yep.
Jacob Fromm, Garrett Gilbert, Sam Darnold, Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, Teddy Two Gloves is just like a placeholder.
Who played for Zach Wilson?
Yeah. Yep.
I can't look at this team and be like, all right, well, they're really good.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's using Slay better. I think Fletcher Cox is playing a little bit better.
Okay, he's using Slay better versus terrible teams.
That's true.
Terrible. And I think people talk about the parity in the NFL. There's so many teams that are vying for playoff spots right now. Let me spin that for you real quick. I think there's more awful teams in football now than there ever been.
I think that's fair.
I think a lot of them are around more because they're still involved in the playoff hunt. Like, in what year would a 6-9 Washington football team be still alive for the playoffs, week 17?
And I do think that ownership and scouts and general managers, they take more risk than they used to back in the day. Meaning, they're gonna, I always say, some of these quarterbacks are invented in the first round, and I think that happens a lot more than it used to, where you would take more of a safe veteran pick, and you have more of a balanced team. And I think they go, they're going for the fences a lot of times, because they did learn that if you don't have your quarterback, you don't have shit in the NFL, right? I mean,
correct. Correct. Let's go to Sirianni next, because I want to do Hurts last, because I think that will lead into what we're going to talk about.
Sorry, you go ahead first.
I give Sirianni an A.
Okay, wow. Okay.
And I'll tell you why I gave him an A. This was my wow one.
That is a wow one for me, because I thought you'd be lower on that, personally.
Well, I think that it takes a lot of balls for a coach to go into a game and be like, listen, I'm going to try to throw the football and get Jalen Hurts more acclimated with throwing the football early in the game, knowing that if I just play my game plan in the second half, we'll still win. And that's exactly what he did. He started the game with a game plan. I want to get Jalen Hurts throwing the football. I want to see if I can make him better at throwing the football, knowing I have the whole second half to destroy this team with running the football like we know we can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what they did. 3-3 at halftime. Went into the second half, all right, well, let's run the ball down their throat. Let's kick their ass.
Yeah, I think it's a fair grade, and your grade actually makes me bump my grade a little bit. I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to take it from a B to a B+.
Okay.
Because my thing is I do agree with you that is ballsy of him to do, and I think necessary to an extent. If you're not putting the game in jeopardy, they're on a playoff run, and you do have to have some faith in your quarterback. You can't just play scared, because he's probably realizing you're going to have more of a passing portfolio if you get into the playoffs than you're showing recently. or even in your wins because they know they could run the ball. But I just feel like, man, and Washington's kind of an unfair one because that was a freak play with the kick up of the interception and all that. But I feel like we're seeing a lot of slow starts sometimes from them. And I don't know if that's Jalen Hurts just not executing. And, because I gave him a B+ and not an A because I just felt like it's a slow start. And even though I think you're writing your assessment of why he did it, I just feel like it's his team, right? And that's low start.
And that's fair. He can get a B+ from anybody. The reason I gave him an A because I felt like I could be wrong. This might not be why he's doing it, but I feel like I'm going to try to get him more accurate. Like he's looking forward to the playoffs. He's looking forward to getting Jalen Hurts as ready as he possibly can. And I got to give him credit for that. Like you have to see what you have. Like they know they can win that football game running the football. They know they can win that football game playing defense and not turning it over.
Yeah.
They need to learn to see if Jalen Hurts can carry them again. Because what's going to happen is this, right? They're going to get in the playoffs and they're going to get down 14-0.
How did you feel about that fumble? Now, I watched it closer, and his knee caused the fumble, but Sirianni chewed him out for a similar play the week before where he's holding the ball like a loaf of fucking bread. And NFL teams will watch that and say, like, look at this guy holding this ball like this, and they're going to swipe, they're going to try to tackle him, and they're going to try to hit that ball out. Now, the guy that really caused the fumble, correct me if I'm wrong here, looked more like his knee caused the fumble, but he did make his leg move that way to kind of, when he tackled him, to kind of make it run into there. And he didn't knee the ball on purpose, right?
Ball security. It's ball security. It's ball security.
Yeah, and that's an issue of his. I really think that's something with as a running quarterback.
If I'm being honest, it's an issue with almost every quarterback in football. Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback this year. It's not really turning the ball over at an astronomical rate.
Mm-hmm.
But I gave Jalen Hurts a C+, and I want to give him an A. I want to give him a B. He's not very good at anticipating throws. He's not very good at reading coverage. He's still a one-read quarterback and then go. I don't know. I just can't give him an A when he's just not reading coverage. He's not passing the ball at an accurate and or elite level.
I'm not far off from you. I gave him a B-.
Fair.
And the reason why I gave him a B- was because I'm just having a problem with the ball security and the anticipation of the throws and the processing of the plays and leading the receivers. I feel like Devontae Smith is a very good route runner where we really haven't seen us to be able to take advantage of it as an offense. When I say us, I mean the Eagles, because the ability to lead the receiver open isn't there. And I could
anticipate.
Yeah, and I could definitely see Devontae Smith having the skill set where he could take a slant across the middle to the house. If you're leading it out in front of him, he's running to the ball in stride, and he could turn the Jets on.
Yeah, he can't anticipate the throw.
And that's huge in the NFL. Huge.
Anticipating the throw?
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%. I agree with you.
And that, and we were talking about it on the phone before the show, how you hear a lot of people call in, and we're going to lead into this Hurts thing next, I believe you're saying, Gene, right? And,
like, this is a dominant game. We don't really need to break this game down that much.
Right, it was.
So I'd rather get into the Jalen Hurts thing because, like, he got my lowest grade. Mm-hmm. He also got your lowest grade of the three. Gardner Minshew went into the office, apparently, and said, what do I have to do to be the starting quarterback?
Yeah, that was Chris Morton who reported that. Now,
I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah, Chris Morton's reported, but the King Eskin, who I also respect a lot of, he said that Minshew, he said that he doesn't know if he believes it entirely. I got to follow up with why he said he's probably saving it for his Saturday morning show, as he always does.
Fuck Eskin, bro.
But he's got a lot of good inside info.
Yeah, but he's been wrong so much, bro.
He's been wrong a lot.
Do you know when I lost respect for Howard Eskin?
You gonna go on the Phillies?
No.
Oh, which one?
So
when he wore a dress,
I hate
because he liked Cowboys.
And I hate doing this. I really do. But this is something I brought up on Wire to Wire, and I'll bring it off here. There was a tweet that quoted a Chicago beat writer. Mm-hmm. Like all the person did was tag them. A Chicago beat writer. And said the Eagles were going to trade for Nick Foles and Tariq Cohen and, all this stuff to the Bears. Mm-hmm. Right? So Natalie Eganoff from 97.5 at the time, now she's with Parks. Mm. She ran with that tweet like it was fact. and it was like just a troll on the internet that had like 117 followers.
Mm-hmm.
That just tagged the Chicago writer. So she ran with it like it was fact. Tariq Cohen's like, this is not real. Like, everybody around the situation that this is not real. Every one of my sources said this wasn't real. Howard Eskin then stole her story and said, I've been talking to people inside the organization. It's a very real trade. I watched how that thing transpired. I watched it on Twitter. And, like, if you want to report false reporting and make it like it's your story and you have an in or you have an insider, I can't take Chris Mortensen. You show me when Chris Mortensen reports false. Well,
but he did have the Alshon Jeffrey source, though, right?
So when is that proven to be false?
No, it's not. Eskin was talking about that. He's the one that broke that. But I agree with you on that. That's
Eskin brought the Alshon Jeffrey. How do you know it wasn't Nelson Aguilar?
Could have been.
And that's my point. Like, what fact do you prove that that's it? Listen, if I was a reporter for the Eagles and I wanted to make a headline, it'd be really easy for me to make up one of those two disgruntled receivers and just say it's them.
Yeah.
Oh, my sources tell me it's Alshon. Doesn't matter who you say.
They were doing that because Alshon and Josina have a relationship, a friendship, whatever it may be. But so I agree with you on Mortensen. But the interesting part is the last part of what was reported. He said he basically asked what it would take for him to earn the starting job going forward. Sirianni told Minshew it's not going to happen, quote in quotes, and that team is committed to Hurts, and the team is committed to Hurts for the remainder of the season.
Yep.
I feel like the remainder of the season portion is kind of interesting.
I think that just you're kind of overblowing the remainder of the season part of it. I think that just means like, hey, listen, is Gardner Minshew on a multi-year contract with us?
I don't think so. I can check. I think he might still be on his rookie deal, and we traded for him.
In my eyes, it would just be more of, like we're committed to Hurts the rest of this year. And then we'll address our concerns in the offseason and see how this year plays out.
Yeah, Minshew is sporttrack.com is a real easy way to find stuff out. So, yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent in 2023, so we have him next year through 2022.
Okay. So maybe it means remainder this year, next year you can compete with him in camp, so you don't like destroy his hope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't read into that line too much.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think it's a true story, possibly, but there's really not a lot to it. I agree with you.
Well, let's play Jalen Hurts or.
We shall.
Okay, so I'm going to name you an NFL starting quarterback, and you're going to tell me whether you would rather have Jalen Hurts for next year or this quarterback. Now, the reason I say next year is because I don't want you to bring up the age part. I want you to ask whether he's a
people do fall back on the age thing.
Correct. Oh, he's younger. He could develop. Like, that's fine. I want to know if you think he would be a better fit for your organization this year or this person.
And we're not bringing up Wentz because obviously
we're not.
Right.
We'll get into that. Okay. So I'll start in the AFC West. I'll start with a tough one.
Okay.
Derek Carr.
Jalen
Hurts or Derek Carr?
As it sits right now.
Sure. Yeah.
You have to go Derek Carr.
Same. I got Derek Carr. I don't think it's that close for me.
Yeah.
Derek Carr can make all the throws. Derek Carr is still young enough. Well, it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. For 1 year, I still go Derek Carr.
Yeah, and you can replace Jalen Hurts' rushing ability with another running back, or just we have a great offensive line. You're going to run the ball.
Okay. Jalen Hurts or Teddy Bridgewater?
Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
All right. I won't bring up Herbert or Mahomes because that's laughable.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Jalen Hurts
I would dance naked in the streets if we got Justin Herbert or Mahomes.
Jalen Hurts or Baker Mayfield?
Ooh. I got to go Jalen on this. And I like Baker, but, he seems to get hurt a lot. And, I could say Jalen rushes well. I don't know if I could really say Baker does one thing really well. I don't, you can at least fall back on the rushing. Obviously, I'm going to say Baker's a better passer than Jalen. There's no doubt about that. I think I go Jalen Hurts. That's
by the slightest amount, I go Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's a tough one, though. That's a tough one. Because you could make a case the other way.
Jalen Hurts or Joe Burrow?
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Not close, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially after that game last week, where he's like, you know what?
One, right?
I heard you talking shit. I'm dropping 575 on you.
Love it.
Yeah. And he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Here's a tough one: Jalen Hurts or Tua Tagovailoa?
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
I like Jalen Hurts too. There. But
I think
there's
Tua.
a lot of people that would pick Tua.
Yeah, I mean, Tua just. I know Jalen Hurts. We're talking about he's not a great thrower of the ball, but man, Tua just looks weird. The way I mean, even like Jalen Waddle got like he's getting a bunch of receptions, having a great season. But I feel like if he had a quarterback that could throw the ball like maybe on a Derek Carr level, he would have a phenomenal season.
I got news for you. Jalen Waddle would have a worse season under Jalen Hurts, but I'd still rather have Jalen Hurts.
I agree there too. That is true.
All right, so Jalen Hurts or Mac Jones. Pretty close one, right?
I want to go Jalen on that one too.
I'm going Mac Jones.
Okay.
I don't know how you don't go Mac Jones there.
I think Mac Jones has played well, and I think Belichick is a great coach. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but they're only separated by one game technically, right? Wait, no, 2 games.
2 losses.
2 losses. So I wouldn't get mad at anybody that says Mac Jones. I could totally get why. I think he has a better ability, obviously, to pass as far as anticipation. But I do feel like Belichick is definitely one of those coaches where he's more old school. He's not going to put that player in a position where they could fail. Look at the Buffalo game.
I'll take Mac Jones there. I don't even think it's that close.
Okay.
So the AFC South, you have Jalen Hurts or Ryan Tannehill. Yeah, I agree. Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence.
Tannehill would be perfect for the Eagles because of their run game, and he's a very good play action quarterback, and he's more mobile and throws on the run better than people realize.
I agree. Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence.
Oh man, that's a tough one because Urban Meyer is such a shitty coach that it's almost like the year after Chip Kelly, we really didn't know what we fucking had in players because of the way he was running things.
Correct.
So I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence because I just feel like you got some more upside there than in passing skills than you have in Jalen Hurts, even though Lawrence is having a worse season right now.
I go Trevor Lawrence also.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. We go to the NFC. Jalen Hurts or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Ooh.
I go Hurts here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hurts too because Jimmy Garoppolo's got some really questionable fucking throws himself, and he doesn't have the mobility to go along with it.
The other quarterbacks in the AFC West, you can't really compare. Stafford, Kyler Murray, and Russell Wilson are all clearly them.
Yes.
All right, so let's move to the AFC South. Tom Brady's not a comparison. Jalen Hurts or Matt Ryan for one more year.
Matt Ryan.
I go Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Okay.
I think Matt Ryan's past his prime.
Okay.
Past his peak. I won't bore you with Sam Darnold. It's Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm not gonna get too far.
I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is over Taysom Hill and over Jameis Winston. Those are easy ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to
Winston was actually not looking bad though.
Yes, he was.
Well,
he had one good game in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that's true. People did overblow it, but he's still, 30 interceptions, 30 touchdowns is pretty amazing.
Jalen Hurts or Kirk Cousins? That's a report on ESPN that the Eagles are going to trade a first-round draft pick for Kirk Cousins to be our starting quarterback next year.
That's fucking insanity, especially the money he's going to cost too, right?
I don't think 23, 25 million. He's not going to cost much.
But
I take Cousins. If their money is the same, I would take Cousins. As a better quarterback?
I would take Cousins too.
Yeah, Kirk.
It's not sexy.
Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff?
Ooh.
Give me Jalen.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jalen too. The Lions have been beating people the last couple weeks.
Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields?
See, that's a tough one.
Justin Fields is the answer.
Yeah, me too. I just feel like Justin Fields, I feel like he's in a similar situation to Trevor Lawrence.
You got one more division in football, and you're only going to get 2 questions out of me. Because Taylor Heineke's a joke.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts or Daniel Jones? If you're thinking about this one, the second one won't be a thought.
I'm going to go Jalen Hurts.
I'll go Jalen Hurts there, too. And Jalen Hurts or Rain Dakota Prescott?
I'm going to go Dak.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rain Dakota.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
His name's Rain.
It's his first name?
Yeah, his name's Rain Dakota Prescott. Fucking hate Cowboys.
I do, too. But, I kind of...
Dak's a better quarterback, though.
He is. I feel like He was a better quarterback year 1 than Jalen was, or year 2, but I do feel like Dak has gotten better as a passer. And I've seen glimpses from Hurts, but I felt like last game wasn't as good as passing game as the game before for him.
So, Chris, what do you think? I have Kirk and Derek Carr both ahead of Jalen Hurts. He said Kirk Cousins is slightly better than Derek Carr. Come on. I think Derek Carr is slightly better than Kirk Cousins, if I'm being honest. But I think Kirk Cousins is I would, for 1 year or next year, I'd rather have Cousins or Carr.
I feel like I like Derek Carr and it's for this reason over Kirk Cousins. I feel like Derek Carr is a better leader of men than Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is
You're
bad.
absolutely correct.
Yeah, and another reason is
Stephon Diggs shows you that.
Yeah, and on top of that, I like Derek Carr's moxie. We're trying to throw the deep ball sometimes. I think he's not afraid to take a shot.
It's fair.
You know what I mean? I think,
what do we have him, like the 16th, 15th ranked quarterback in the NFL? It's exactly where he is.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Which is why everybody's always saying, like, hey, if you could get Wilson.
Is he a franchise quarterback? Is he not a franchise quarterback?
If you could get Wilson, and then all the lazy comparisons to Lamar Jackson come out, and I'm like, oh, God, here we go again. I've seen glimpses of him improving. And could he improve? I got to go back and watch the film. Russell Wilson was a better passer to the ball in his first year, right?
So, it was not close.
Okay. I just can't remember. I know he didn't pass as much, but they ran more heavy.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but okay.
Wasn't close.
Yeah. So, if Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson become available, there's something the Eagles have to explore.
They have to explore it. The problem, here's where the problem remains, okay? How many teams really win when their quarterback needs to be the highest paid player on the team?
Not many.
Or the highest paid player in the league?
Not many.
Like when quarterbacks get those huge contracts, the rest of the team depletes because you have to make room for that money.
See, Chris said
God.
They're almost the same, need better wide receivers to elevate Hurts. I disagree. We need better quarterback play to elevate the wide receivers. I totally disagree there.
Yeah, I disagree too, Chris. And a nice way I could put it is, I think our receivers would look better under a different quarterback. I think Hurts' progressions will help you see what you have in receivers. So like Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle played right across each other in Alabama. Jalen Waddle is having a much better season with a worse quarterback, in my opinion. If you had an accurate quarterback that was throwing the football, a guy that's anticipatory and that can read defenses, I think Devontae Smith would be right up there. 75, 85 receptions, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns.
And just look at it
He's nowhere near that.
Just look at it this way. How does a receiver improve? Snaps, routes run, things of that nature, air yards, etc. So if your route tree expands because your quarterback has a higher route tree, a higher IQ in a sense where he's going to make
not even a higher IQ, just being able to throw the football like Jalen Hurts throws the ball in between the seams.
Yeah,
it's very tough for him to throw outside the seams because like out routes and things like that doesn't have the arm strength.
Yeah, out routes
doesn't have it.
Yeah, and if you sign let's just say you got Rodgers, your route tree just becomes unlimited.
Correct. Yeah.
Same thing with Wilson, same thing with Watson, and that's gonna. I'll give you like receivers that where on teams with bad quarterbacks, and you're like, where did they come from? Bobby Trees, Robert Woods. He was always fast. He goes to the Rams.
Becomes good.
And you know what? Jared Goff's not that great, but you know he can do. He can make an anticipatory throw some of the time, right? More often than Hurts is showing the ability for. And Robert Woods all of a sudden was like, whoa, well, here's Robert Woods.
Yeah.
Same ability, same athlete, just the receiver position is so dependent on the quarterback. It's not like a running back. It's so much different.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think the best receiver in football for the last 5 years has been DeAndre Hopkins. Mm-hmm. And I think that he never got that until the years he was with Deshaun Watson because he was playing with such bad quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's right. He was on the Bills for wait.
No, he was on the Texans.
The Texans. That's right. I'm getting him mixed up with that guy, Sammy. Who was on the
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, he was on the Bills.
You're getting your guys with dreadlocks mixed up, bro.
Same college division, though, I think, right?
Sammy Watkins played for Clemson. DeAndre Hopkins played for Clemson.
Oh, same team. Okay, there you go. Yeah, there's a lot. The anticipatory throws. You don't even have to have a monster arm. Chad Pennington had a rag arm, but he could put the ball on the money.
Yeah.
You
got to be able to be an accurate quarterback if you're going to be able to not throw the ball as strong as Jalen Hurts does.
I want him to make anticipatory throws. You know, like Lamar Jackson could do that on certain parts of the field, but he just doesn't like to throw outside the hash.
But the problem with Lamar Jackson is not problem. The thing that is good about Lamar Jackson is he has such zip on his ball.
Yeah,
he literally throws that ball like a dart,
and he can throw a nice deep ball too.
He has one of the fastest miles per hour on a football. So I mean,
yeah, it's not. You said that a couple weeks ago. It is a lazy comparison to compare him to Jalen Hurts.
Totally different players.
And
Lamar's better in every aspect.
Yeah,
of the
Lamar
game.
is a way more dynamic runner than Jalen
every
Hurts.
aspect of the game.
Lamar can break open a play for a 60-yard touchdown on a run.
Yep.
Like at any point, and he'll run up the field and try to knife through.
Wait! I found one. Jalen Hurts is tougher.
Is he?
If they got in a fight, I think Jalen Hurts would win.
He's tougher.
He benched like 500 pounds. They're talking about like how his bench.
Yeah.
I'm just being facetious.
Maybe
just trying to find a way for Jalen Hurts to be a little better than Lamar Jackson at something.
Yeah, I always hear these comparisons on the radio. Like, well, why wouldn't you want Jalen Hurts? You know, Lamar Jackson became MVP. I'm like, stop, please stop.
Yeah, stop.
I need you to stop right now. And you know, Baltimore's credit, they brought in an offensive coordinator to build around Lamar. Yep. And they built that program around his skill set very skillfully and thoughtfully. And you know, and they were like, we're going to focus on running the ball. And good for them. And I have seen Lamar get better as a passer. There's definitely flaws to his game, but it's not a good comparison.
Agreed.
Yeah, man, I think the Eagles have to explore all options, and maybe I'm reading into that for the remainder of the season, apart from Chris Mortensen. Totally I'm reading into it, but at the end of the day, I think the fans sense that the Eagles aren't fully committed on Hurts long term, and they shouldn't be, because there's a lot of unanswered questions about his game. Now, the thing you mentioned it earlier about winning and having a high-paid quarterback and being able to build depth and sign people on a team. That's the other thing too, and there's a little upside here to stick with Jalen Hurts. Like you stick with him next year, and let's say he does improve, because we can't say he's not. We hope he does, as Eagles fans, but you can't say he's not going to improve, right? And I know this is another bad comparison, but Josh Allen's good. His very first season, he was not a good passer. I mean, he had the arm strength, and he's way better than Jalen Hurts as far as arm strength. No comparison. But as far as passing the ball, he was reckless, but he got better. Now, I don't know if they get on the same trajectory. I hope he does. But if you're paying a guy second-round money and you don't really see anybody in the draft you have to go get, let's see if he could develop.
It's funny because that's actually a more accurate comparison to Jalen Hurts than Lamar Jackson. He could be a poor man's Josh Allen.
He could be. I mean, Josh Allen, I'll never forget that Texans game.
I'll bet you there are 40 times they're almost identical.
Yeah, Josh Allen's a bigger body. They're both big guys.
They're both strong. I'm serious. I bet you that their breakdown of play is probably identical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm serious. It's just Josh Allen's stronger arm.
Much stronger arm. And
much stronger arm.
Yeah, and Josh Allen too. The game that defined his rookie-isms early on in his career is that Texans game.
Playoff game.
Yeah.
I knew exactly where you were going.
And I was like looking at him, I was like, what the fuck just happened here?
They won that game.
They should have won that game.
I agree with you.
And I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? And
then you don't have the 24-0 Texans-Chiefs game.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs came back and won that game. I couldn't believe the Chiefs covered. I won so much money on that football game, I can't even explain. I bet the Chiefs minus 10.5 to start the game. Then I bet them minus 7. And I bet them at when they were +7.
I bet
on the live line, and then I bet them second half. I hit them all.
I bet them. I bet
everyone.
I took an in-game bet. I can't remember what it was, right before the half ended for them to win. And I took the money line. I know it had to be a plus like 230 or something like that.
Weren't they up at halftime after being down 24-0?
Whenever they were down 24-0 is when I jumped on it, because I felt
live line.
I felt like it was live. It wasn't like at halftime. I meant to say it was live when I did it, and I felt like just Mahomes has that ability to bring you back, and I've
never seen anything like it ever in my life.
Did it 2 weeks in a row. We did it to Titans too.
No, not 24-0.
Well, it was 24-0, but they were down.
That was absurd.
They were down though.
They could not have a worse start to that game.
Yeah. Yeah, 4.7 for Josh Allen, 4.4.
Yeah.
Jalen ran at 4.4?
Probably 4.48, 4.47. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I didn't look that fast, but I get it. 4.7 is slower than 4.4.
Josh Allen's also got three. He's 6'5", right?
Yeah, he's bigger.
You got
That's
more
what I said.
weight on.
Like it's like microing him down.
Yeah.
Smaller, not as strong arm.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you're looking for an NFL comparison to him, like I think Jalen Hurts can develop into a good NFL quarterback. I just don't ever think he'll be elite.
Yep.
I appreciate you looking that up for us, Dante.
Yeah, that's a good look. Yeah, I agree 100%.
4.48. Look, it's almost identical.
Yeah. Interesting. So
Josh is probably closer to a 4.71. If I think it's closer than those numbers look. 4.7, 4.4.
Yeah. So New Year's Eve is upon us. A new year.
You want to leave something in 2021?
Yeah. So
I'm with it.
Yeah, I got something.
I do too. You go first.
All right. So my thing is, and this kind of ties in, I think, where you're going with this, but a little different. I want to leave, in 2021, especially concerning Eagles, the Eagles, is there doesn't have to be a black and white answer for everything. Things can be nuanced. It doesn't have to be either or, like, this guy or that guy, right? Like.
So what are you leaving in 2021?
I'm leaving like this, you have to pick a guy. You can't just be like, for example, you can't, some people like, Hurts or this guy, or Hurts or Wentz, or Hurts or Minshew. You can't just be like, well, I like Hurts, but, I want to leave this idea where you have to pick a hill and die on it as an Eagles fan, and you can root for your guy.
I think you're missing the concept of the question.
Okay.
I'll start.
Okay.
So in 2021, Eagles fans, I beg of you, and this includes me, unless I'm talking on wire to wire about national sports, can we please stop talking about Carson Wentz? I just seen Elliot Asshole Parks post about Carson Wentz's backups are 10-3 when they're trying to win the football game. I couldn't believe it. Most asinine tweet.
LA Troll Parks, I like to call him.
Let's leave we got the first round draft pick for him. I told everybody when it happened, you're going to get a first and third. No, we're never going to get a first. He'll never play 70% of the snaps. We got the first round draft pick for him. Jalen's our guy. Let's just leave it alone. Let's leave it in 2021, and that includes me. I am leaving Carson Wentz in the past. Let's move forward with the roster that we have. Let's move forward with the team that we have, the 3 first-round draft picks, and let's leave it alone. So that's what I'm leaving. I'm leaving Carson Wentz in 2021 as an Eagle fan. So as an Eagle fan, leave something. Maybe it's J Jaw conversations.
Maybe I'm gonna say this one. You'll probably wildly disagree.
Okay.
We're gonna have to let go of the Justin Jefferson mistake and leave it in 2021.
That's fair. That's fair. We don't need to hear that anymore.
Yeah, because I don't want to talk about it, not because I don't want to recognize how stupid it was. It just burns to fucking bring it up. I don't want to bring it up anymore.
Correct, and you can't move past it. It's already happened. It's like the milk is spilt, and if we keep talking about it, we can't grow. So moving past the Justin Jefferson over Jalen Reagor comparisons is only helpful for Jalen Reagor and his growth in this city. I hate saying it, but listen, I think Jalen Reagor has been a bust so far, just like anybody else has. But what I will give the kid is his effort is 150%.
Yeah.
Him running down that fumble versus Washington, his effort on the football field is there. I respect it. The guy's trying to get better. I want to leave the Justin. I like that. Leave the Justin Jefferson comparisons in the past.
I have more hope for Jalen Reagor, and this is probably low hanging fruit than I ever had for J.
Sacred White.
Yeah, because
he will be on the team next year.
Yeah, and the reason why I have more hope for Jalen Reagor is he's got NFL pedigree in his family.
You know what J. Jaw is? You're seeing him in Miami. He's Mac Hollins.
I feel like Mac Hollins has done more than J. Jaw.
Mac Hollins is now 7 years in the league.
Yeah, but he's a special teams player, and he can get a deep ball every now and then.
Is it 7 years? No, it's 6 years. 2017, 2018, 2019.
He's past his rookie contract.
5 years in the league.
Yeah, at least 5. He's past the rookie contract. Yeah, how about?
That's exactly what I would say. Leave those two things.
How about Rasul Douglas? He is playing pretty well. I mean,
what's happening, Timmy Todd?
Rasul? I mean, you think he's
Rasul Douglas is playing great for Green Bay.
So that was Jim.
He's an
Jim
NFC
Schwartz
alternate.
Yeah, Jim Schwartz putting him in a doghouse, making him look worse.
Jim Schwartz.
Who was it?
Howie Roseman's fault. He drafted Sidney Jones above him and kept forcing Sidney Jones down our throat when he wasn't ready.
Yeah, Sidney Jones. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. They should have re-signed him, though. Why didn't they re-sign him?
Because you made the decision that Sidney Jones is going to be your guy, and then the next year you got rid of Sidney Jones. I can't. There's so many mistakes Howie Roseman's made in the past. I think the Jay Jaw versus Justin Jefferson, the Jay Jetta versus Jalen Reagor comparison needs to be left. I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll leave that. I still think, and he was right. I wasn't really toward the spirit of what he's asking there, but it's okay to, you can like Hurts and Wentz, or you can not like both. You can have a nuanced answer being an Eagles fan.
That's fair.
You don't have to be.
You're talking about the tribalism.
I hate it because I feel like it used to only be in politics. And I see it leaking in sports.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait. You're a Democrat? You have to believe in all the stuff Democrat stuff. You're a Republican? You have to believe all the stuff Republicans believe.
Right.
It's the same thing with sports now.
Yeah, you hear it on the radio.
You hear it with Giglio and Elliott because they were so adamant about getting Carson out of town.
Mm-hmm.
They have to love Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
They don't really love him. It's just they wanted him so badly that they have to be on that.
And I hate when troll takes happen because you can admit you're wrong when you can say I was wrong.
Can. I will fully admit I'm wrong about Georgia if they lose to Michigan.
Yeah, I doubt it. But I love sports couch. Like, there's one of there's a guy listed on Sirius XM. He was so down on Russell Wilson, and he's like, I was wrong.
Yeah, I ever tell you about my worst NFL take?
What was that?
Okay, so I'll bring you back. Julio Jones was a rookie year. AJ Green was a rookie, same year.
Mm-hmm.
A kid by the name of Justin Blackmon was coming out.
I remember him.
Was coming out of college. I think he played for Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken.
Couldn't lay off the weed.
I said Justin, and this is right after Julio and AJ Green's rookie year. I said Justin Blackmon is the second coming of Terrell Owens, and I would take him over Julio or AJ Green. My worst take of all time. I admit I'm wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. It was a terrible take. I love Justin Blackmon. I thought he was going to be a stud.
And in the spirit of admitting wrong on bad takes, I'll admit I had a bad one last week. Gene challenged me on it, and I went back and looked at the film.
Khalil Mack.
No. Well,
I think arm strength.
Yes, I think I was saying something different than you were. You're right on what you said about Khalil Mack. I looked in that, but the Minshew. I looked at the scouting report, and I looked at some old on Game Pass some old Minshew games, and his arm strength is better. Yeah. No doubt about it. He has better arm talent.
Respect.
What I saw was the things I saw was he had some arm accuracy issues. This is on his scouting report as well. And decision making, arm accuracy, anticipation was actually not that bad. It was progressions and decision making, arm accuracy were the problems I had with him as a quarterback when he's on the Jaguars. But he does have more zip on the ball than Jalen Hurts.
100%.
And I was wrong about that. But I'm okay admitting that because analysts are never going to be right 100% of the time. That I was 100% wrong on. So in the spirit of bad takes, give you a fresh one. That was a bad take. That was one.
Respect.
Yeah.
Let's get into this game. I'll break it down first. I think this is a really bad game for the Eagles. I really don't like this game going into Washington.
Really?
I hate it, actually.
Okay. Is it because of the old, it's a division type deal? They had,
playing any team twice in 10 days is very tough.
Okay, true.
Playing a team after they get slaughtered on national TV is tough.
I usually have that rule for like baseball, and it kind of baseball. Like, you ever see like a baseball team get smoked like 23-1? A lot of times you'll see that team.
They win the next game.
Yeah, like
3-2,
or no, they'll come 15-1, or they'll come ripping the ball because they're just embarrassed. And the Cowboys embarrassed the Redskins. The
football team.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Fuck. The Potatoes got embarrassed. The Washington Potatoes got embarrassed by the Cowboys. I mean, it was like they were calling defensive touchdowns. They're like, watch this. I was just like, Jesus.
I don't like this game for the Eagles. I think this is going to be a bad football game if you're an Eagles fan. Miles Sanders being out, Jordan Howard's questionable. You're looking at a backfield that could be Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell.
Are they bringing Kerryon Johnson back? I heard.
Yes, he's practice squad. He might, if Jordan Howard doesn't play, he'll be our third string running back.
He's got to have, but I feel like Kerry Johnson should have the same ability as Jordan Howard almost. It's not that far.
You can't be serious.
Well, Jordan Howard's more of a bruiser. Kerryon Johnson.
You can't be serious.
But he's not great. But I mean, Jordan Howard has had his off years as well. and he's had his own years.
Kerryon Johnson's not going to walk in here and be what Jordan Howard's been.
Right. He's not. I'm just. Why is he not on another team? Right. He's not. He's
on our team because he knows our playbook and he was with our team in the preseason.
No, I meant another team, not our team.
He's not that good.
Right. Which is true. I mean, he's been on a lot of practice squads already. I think he was on San Francisco's at one point.
Yeah. So
I
don't like this game as an Eagles fan.
You don't think that with our offensive line, even he can run a little bit? Maybe a little of the Devontae Freeman effect?
Like, I don't think Kerryon Johnson can get more than 5 carries. I think you're going to look at a lot of Boston Scott.
Emergency back.
Yeah, a lot of Boston Scott, a lot of Kenny Gainwell. Problem is neither one of those backs are very quick. They're quick, very fast. They're quick. They're just not very, and they're not very bruising. They're not very strong backs.
Chris, I stole that. The potatoes is it's a broadcaster listening on Sirius XM, but he said I'm not going to deal with this Washington football team crap. I'm just going to call them the potatoes until they pick a name. So
respect that you said that out loud.
But
he didn't have to do that. Nobody knew that.
Yeah, the guy's pretty well known. I mean, he's more of a fantasy guy, but.
But my point being is this game is not. It's shaping up. Every way I break down football games, it's just shaping up to be one of those games that if the Eagles win the game, it'll be a 3-point game.
Oh man, I have that gut feeling too, where it's just
24-21 Birds.
Yeah. So
that's like where my stomach says.
So
and that's me hoping. Hoping against hope.
Let's say they lose, the Vikings lose, and they need to win to clinch this weekend. With the Vikings losing, and there's another scenario I believe in there. The Saints need to lose or something to that effect, or I can't remember.
I think if the Eagles win and this Vikings lose, I think they're in.
Okay. So if the Eagles lose, they still have a chance to clinch the next week.
Correct. But they need a lot more.
The more winnable game, honestly, is this one this week versus the Cowboys next week.
Correct. It depends on who Dallas plays. Like you have,
are they still playing for a 1 seed?
If you're an Eagles fan, you got to be rooting for Green Bay to beat Minnesota in multiple reasons, and you have to root for Arizona to beat Dallas. Arizona beats Dallas. Dallas had locked up the division, but cannot get the 1 seed anymore. So they're the scenarios that you want to root for Sunday. So
you want to talk about a team that needs to win bad? Is
Arizona?
Yeah, real bad.
But for this game Sunday, I think with Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, and that Washington front 7, I think they're going to give the Eagles problems running the football. And then when you have Jalen Hurts be the guy that has to pass you to win, I think the Eagles defense really needs to step up. I'm hoping Jonathan Gannon has a hell of a game plan. And I really respect what they did as far as the COVID thing, as far as the quarterbacks, keeping them in different rooms. I thought that was really smart.
Yeah, that is really, really smart.
And the Eagles have been like one of the most prepared teams as far as COVID. Like they've been hit the least.
All right, so here's the scenario exactly. Eagles beat Washington. 49ers beat Texans, or Panthers beat Saints, and the Packers beat the Vikings. So
the 49ers are going to beat the Texans.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
There's no way the Texans pull that shit off 2 weeks in a row.
So the 49ers beat the Texans. It's in San Fran too, right?
That I'm not sure. I could check that, but
I'm pretty sure the game's in San Fran.
Yeah, I think you're right.
49ers win that game. Take that off the table. Eagles win, Vikings lose. You're in the playoffs.
Okay.
That's huge.
Yep. Yeah, and it's in Minnesota, but they should they gave the Vikings did give the Packers a run for their money. No, wait, I'm thinking of a different game. Hold on. Was that game close?
Vikings beat Packers.
This year?
Yes.
Okay, so all right. Yeah, but they're not going to sweep them. No way.
I think they beat them at Minnesota. I think they're one of Packers' 3 losses.
Yeah, that's right. It was there were so many losses for the Vikings this year.
But this is Sunday Night Football, right? And it's at Green Bay.
Yeah, there's no fucking way Rodgers is losing that game. No way. Patrick Peters is gonna get torched. There's no way. By the way, that Texas game, you were talking earlier about that Chargers game and Texas game, how there are professional football players, and you're right about that, because a big reason why I think Texans won is, Herbert is good for getting big plays, but so is Lovie Smith of limiting it with the cover 2. Even though I'm not a big fan of the cover 2 all over, I just thought about that schematically where, any given Sunday, different things can happen. That's why we watch the games.
Why we play the games.
Yeah, and I do have that weird gut feeling about the Eagles game. What was the score you were giving for it?
24-21 Birds.
24-21 Birds. Man, that is fucking close. Do you think that the Redskins are gonna get maybe a turnover or score 21 points?
I got news for you. Ready? If you said Gene, you have a shot at $1 million. The Washington football team's plus 3.5 in the game, where the Eagles are minus 3.5. Where would you put your money?
That fucking half hook, man.
Where would you put your money? I would take Washington plus 3.5.
Yeah, I hate that half point bullshit. I mean, like,
but my point being is
that pushes you over the edge. The half point, though.
I really, truly believe this is going to be a really, really uncomfortable game.
Yeah, I definitely feel the uncomfortableness coming because I just feel like you're playing against a wounded team, and they aren't the same Washington team we played 2 weeks ago. They're not. You got a lot more players back. Heineke's serviceable.
Antonio Gibson's been running the football well.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles' defense isn't as good as Dallas. And I hate saying it that way, but it's the truth.
You know, when I look at Washington, one of the biggest wastes, because they don't have a good enough quarterback, is Terry McLaurin.
I agree.
He's just fucking dying there.
I was dying to see him play with Fitzpatrick for a whole year.
I thought it would have been a lot better. Absolutely.
Fitzpatrick throws one of the best deep balls in football.
Yeah.
McLaurin's a speedster.
He just got old and turned to dust as soon as he got on the field and his hip disintegrated. So, I mean,
I hate saying that. I love Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I did, but he's up there. I mean, it's a tough physical sport, and your body
I wanted
just
him to have his last hurrah after he got screwed in Miami.
They would have gave him a shot in Washington too. That's the shame about it. That was the perfect landing spot for him, really, to be honest. I mean, that was the perfect landing spot because they needed a guy. Now, Heineke, he's a good backup. I think he'll be a backup in his league for a while.
I agree.
But I do.
I mean, Josh Johnson's still a backup in the league.
He's played some decent ball this year when given a chance. He's not,
Yes. I just mean like
even Huntley, man.
There's a bunch of retreads that just play in the league for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh Johnson's like 34, 35. He's up there.
Who was Trevor Siemian was playing for the Saints this year, like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
like there's a bunch of bad quarterbacks.
That was an awful game to watch.
Hanging
by the way.
around.
Ian Book, I know he's young, and
Ian Book's terrible.
Yeah.
Ian Book was terrible at Notre Dame. I don't know why he got drafted in the NFL.
Fourth round pick.
No, he wasn't. He was a 6th round pick.
He was a 6th round. I thought he was a 4th rounder.
No, check your source.
Even still,
at best, he was a 5th. I'm pretty sure he was a 6th. Look it up. I could be wrong.
I mean,
I think day 3 pick. If I had to guess, it'd probably be pick 205, 206.
His girlfriend's getting more.
Look it up. Look it up.
His girlfriend. I'm looking at him right now. His girlfriend's getting more press. No, he was around 4.
Was he really?
Pick 133.
What the hell were they thinking?
I don't know, because maybe because he had rushing upside. Because I read something that Notre Dame counts QB sacks as lost rushing yards or something.
So all right, that's fun. Want to hear something wild? Notre Dame quarterbacks have lost their last 24 starts.
Their last in the NFL.
Every Notre Dame quarterback is 0-24 in the last 24 starts.
By the way, smart move for Brian Kelly to go to LSU.
I don't want to get into that shit.
No, you don't.
No, and he's a joke. And he went to LSU and then developed a fake Southern accent. That is really fraudulent. He's a joke.
That is really
Let's
fraudulent.
give our quotes.
Gotcha. I'm ready for my quotes this week. You want to go?
No, you go first. You got it.
All right. So my quote is Madden-esque, and I like this one. The road to Easy Street goes through the sewer.
I love that.
And I love that because listen, nothing good comes easy. It's the truth. Another cliche quote. I have a couple other Madden ones, but hey, this one I like though. I'm gonna give you a twofer. Stop me if I'm stealing one from Eugene, because I know you might have been thinking the same thing. My favorite John Madden quote. This is from Samuel Chamberlain. Guts and genius. If you make a mistake, admit it quickly and empathetically. Don't dwell on it.
Yeah, that's not mine. Mine was a Julian Edelman quote. It's tough times don't last, tough people do.
I like that.
And I just and you can even go with a second Julian Edelman quote that he said, but it's really kind of said for years. It's not the size of the dog in a fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog.
I thought Doug Peterson came up with that.
No, but those are both big for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Jalen. I really do. I really like him, and I get shit from him from wire to wire. They think I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. You think I'm a hater. I know, but my point is, I'm so honest about him that like some people are on. You said it perfectly. People are on one side of the equation or the other side of the equation. Yeah,
I feel like, and the tribalism part comes in where people are trying to fight the oh, you're trying to give him the running quarterback label. No, I'm not. I want this.
He is a running quarterback.
He is, but I want him.
I
want him to succeed. But that's where the tribal is going. I'm like, I can question him and still root for him. You know what I mean? And people, it's just weird. I agree with you. Like, it's okay to question him and root for him. I want to be wrong. There's no more. There's a lot. There's bliss in being wrong about, like, hey, a lot of Eagles fans experience that, and a lot of them you won't admit it, but a lot of you thought we were fucked when Nick Foles played the first couple games going into the playoffs when they won the Super Bowl. A lot of you thought we were fucked. We were like, we're good. All right, we're fucked. Wentz is out, and we're not going to go that far.
Yep.
And if you don't admit that, whether that was being blissfully wrong, you're full of shit.
Yeah, I was calling for Nate Sudfeld.
Damn, that
I
really...
was after the Raiders game.
You were impressed by that completion percentage game that Jeffrey Lurie.
No, I just thought Nick Foles during that Raiders game was awful.
Oh my God, it was a hard one. But even go after that game, he was pretty awful in the Falcons game.
I love being wrong. I love being wrong when it comes to the Eagles. I was so wrong that year, and so happy to be wrong that year. That's fine. I'm right a lot. Listen to me. I'm right a lot. But I'm not like these guys on the radio, these guys on TV that can't admit when they're wrong. I love admitting it, especially when it benefits the team.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Like, that's the kind of show we want to run because it's okay to be wrong. You know, we're not here to make troll takes that we have to die on because that's what our brand is going to be built on. You know, some like ESP and people like that, they gotta live on the troll take.
That guy lives rent free in my brain. Like I shouldn't, but he does. I can't stand him. I'm sorry. Let's give our quick for counterfeit green, and then we'll sign out. You gotta give your score prediction, by the way. Quick, come on.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 28-17 Eagles. I think it won't be as close.
Okay. All right. So let's give your counterfeit green first.
Actually, there's gonna be a field goal on there. 27-17.
Counterfeit green.
My counterfeit green is, man, I feel like I have to harp on this every week, but my counterfeit green is Eagles fans that want to make you go first because we already talked about it.
My counterfeit green is Toxic Mike for not tipping. It's my counterfeit green.
That is a great one. I can't take that away from you.
He's fraudulent.
Toxic Mike for not tipping. My counterfeit green is Lane Johnson not making a Pro Bowl.
That's perfect.
That's counterfeit.
Just come up with that on the spot.
Yeah,
that was solid. Solid work, Sarah.
And listen, and I love that the Eagles said, you know what? Let's throw him a fucking touchdown.
I do too, especially because of the mental health thing. And like knowing where he's come from to where he's at. I love it.
I have a lot of respect for people that battle through mental health, especially when you have that high level of pressure. I heard some fans saying, "Oh, are we going to get Brandon Brooks back? Is that going to happen?" I would love for him to be that. I mean, that's a plus, right?
He's supposed to be back.
That's a plus getting Brandon Brooks.
Let me look it up real quick before we get off air.
But, yeah, I mean, Lane Johnson, and I know Nick Sirianni's got to say this, but, how many other tackles are better than him in the league?
Than Lane?
Yeah. Anybody? One?
Right
maybe?
tackles? None.
And I love that he said he's pissed that he's not in there. I love that. Because some players don't admit it. I'd be pissed too.
They said 8 weeks 10 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I would love to have him back because more depth on the offensive line can't hurt. And Brandon Brooks is, if he's in the game shape, you have him play, right? And he's got to start over Herbeck, right?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, 100%.
He might be the best right guard in football.
Right. That's a plus for the Eagles right there. So if they get him back, that's like getting a free player.
December 15th, Nick Sirianni said literally was unable to update Brooks' status going forward, and the secrecy has us wondering whether the veteran will return at all this season. The designation was 8 to 12 weeks. 8 weeks was December 1st. 12 weeks would be.
What was the injury again?
Torn pectoral muscle.
That's tough, man. You can only speculate on that. When torn muscle, man, how did it heal? How did he heal? He's still under contract through next year, is he not?
I guess. I don't really give a fuck. He doesn't ever play.
That's true. Played more than Jason Peters at certain points, though.
No, he hasn't.
Well, Jason Peters, he's still getting a paycheck, which is amazing.
So's Brandon Brooks.
Yeah, I don't know.
We paid him like he's the best right guard in football, and he doesn't play ever.
Last year he tore his Achilles.
Yep, and this year it's his pec.
Yeah.
Just never going to play again.
He's
waste of talent. I love him, but hurt.
He's not as bad as Sanders. Sanders gets hurt all the time. We talk about
No, he's way worse than Sanders.
He's way worse.
You're crazy.
He is way worse. But Sanders, that's another one too. Like him, I think he's got some good ability, but we talk about it all the time, man. He's just too many touches. The guy's gonna get hurt. We see it. We've seen it. He's in a run-heavy offense, and there's been a couple games where he's left. Now he has a broken hand, sprained ankle. I mean,
you're absolutely right about Miles Sanders. He gets hurt all the time.
Maybe Kenny Gainwell steps up this game. You're gonna need it.
I hope so.
Yep. Well, that's it, man. That's all we got. Great show today, guys, and thanks for listening in. Thanks for tuning in. We went a little overtime, and it is Christmas time, so I hope you guys are enjoying time with your friends and family. Remember, if there's a friend out there that you think he may be alone, give him a call, ask him how he's doing, wish him a happy New Year. Have a happy and safe New Year. Do not drive fucking drunk. It's not worth it. Even if the Uber costs $100, getting a DUI costs more, and the lives you can possibly change forever in a negative way can even be unexplainable and manually how much it can ripple effect on the road. So with that being said, have a happy New Year's. And Gene, what do you got to say?
I gave a long speech last night. I'll say the same thing. Happy New Year to everybody. Please be safe. Please, 2022 bring to you. Take that time to make a really serious commitment to yourself, your mental health, your physical health. That's what I'm going to do in 2022. So.
And with that being said, this is the Godfrey and Gene not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.